Hello, my name is Annika Lindqvist, and I'm the founder of Pedestrian Space, which is a media and advocacy platform devoted to issues of walkability and sustainable urbanism. Today is January 1st, 2023. Hello, 2023. It is currently almost 12:30 here in Warsaw. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm about to go on a walk in the city, big afternoon walk. But first, I wanted to take a moment and record a video to share across channels, as there's a lot of exciting things happening at Pedestrian Space and in the Global Walkability Correspondence Network, which I founded a year ago, late January 2022. We launched the network. And I wanted today to do a little reading from issue 2, Scorching, of Journey with Purpose. This is a zine. You can find more. You can find this issue as well as the current issue and back copies at jwp.news. This is not my zine, but I was interviewed for this. Thank you, Randy. And this came out last year. And I wanted to do a reading because the interview was great. I really enjoyed the process. The zine is great. And Randy, the founder of this magazine, interviewed me, and the title of the article and interview is called Building the Port to Launch Ships, because almost anyone in the network might know that I love the analogy of pedestrian space as a port, and the analogy that pedestrian space offers this space for people to gather and get experimental and go off on their own adventures with fellow network members. So it's a 4-page interview. I'm going to read apart from the end. I think about pedestrian space as a port, and the working groups, we have several working groups, as ships. People come and go, and pedestrian space offers the space and tools to assemble crew and go off on your journeys. I've seen many groups sail off, and they're around the world on their adventures, by the way, with very international crews. Others are still tinkering in the port and mapping their routes. Many people enter the network and kind of just learn to figure out their way. I think people who thrive in the network are excited about the experimental energy that I founded the network with, which is still a very young network, not quite 1 year old yet, as well as, of course, the opportunity to connect with so many other people around the world who are passionate about issues of walkability, mobility in general, and community vibrancy and urbanist broadly. Of course, with so many people, there are occasionally personal tensions and room to learn a lot about yourself. It's an ongoing process of learning for me as network facilitator, really heightened by the fact that the network is extremely international, diverse, and multicultural as well. I remember in the early days, as people started taking ownership of working groups, it was a really interesting moment for me because I had a very brief fleeting feeling of loss. It was a moment of learning to let go. You know, I love doing projects, and it's not so much about being in charge, but you know, feeling responsibility for what you've put out in the world. And but at that moment, that people started taking ownership of those groups. Those of you listening who did so, thank you. You know who you are. I almost immediately felt okay and total relief, because that's the only way this network and all these groups will thrive if people take ownership. And I think it's the most sustainable as well as interesting way to scale. I'm really excited, intrigued even, to grow into this role of network facilitator. And I have to mention, since this interview, we now have a co-facilitator for the network, Alan, who's based in London, and Cadiz. I really love expanding on the idea and the project of pedestrian space as this metaphorical port for the adventure of collaborative learning and projects. So that was a really fun interview to do, capturing a moment in time in the development of the Global Walkability Correspondence Network, which I would say in the first year was very much housed by pedestrian space and supported. Excuse me. But moving forward, one thing I'm very excited about for 2023 is really seeing the network bloom outward, looking at the many opportunities to partner with fellow like-minded organizations, individuals, university departments. We have many students in the network. There's so much momentum around these issues and so many potentials. We are currently at 151 members in 60 countries and 138 cities all over the world. I cannot name all those right now, but we have members in South America, Central America, North America, Africa, Europe, Middle East, Australia, New Zealand, Oceania, and Asia. And more are coming in. In just the past couple days, we had 4 more people writing us from diverse corners of the world to join the network. So it's really exciting. And as I mentioned, I'm now not the sole facilitator of the network. I have a co-facilitator, Alan. So that should really help with the network thriving moving forward. And also in 2023, well, first of all, I look forward to really spending the next couple of weeks. It's a new year, but so much happened last year. I'm really looking forward to spending a couple more weeks reflecting on all that's developed and sharing that across medias. If you're interested, you can visit pedestrianspace.org. There's links to all our social media. Our YouTube channel has all of the roundtables we produced. In the first year of the network, we hosted and organized 30 different roundtables on very diverse issues, from safety and public transit, outdoor lighting, car dependence, personal mobility, all types of issues, very diverse, a very diverse lineup of roundtables. So if you go to pedestrianspace.org, you can find the link to our YouTube channel, as well as our Twitter and our Instagram. Another thing that will happen this month is the launching of specific social media dedicated to the Global Walkability Correspondence Network, because as this network grows, I do think it deserves its own space. And that will be very exciting to begin also spotlighting individual members. As you can imagine, with 151 members plus growing, week by week, we have people all over the world doing really fascinating things in many different disciplines. Also in 2023, we are looking forward to collectively creating resources to strengthen member voices. A core part of the mission at Pedestrian Space is supporting voices of walkability all over the world. That's one of the core missions of the network, and why we assemble. Also in 2023, and this is a big one I'm extremely excited about, we are looking forward to creating local synergies. So the Global Walkability Correspondence Network, as its name reflects, is a global network of individuals, and that has been, I think, one of the very exciting aspects of the network. Any typical group meeting in the network or roundtable has people from really diverse areas of the globe, and I noticed that engaged members usually really seem excited by this global diversity, and also recognizing that many of us live in very different types of places, but have similar issues regarding pedestrian space and mobility in our community. So it's really nice to have that solidarity and to also learn about different places. We are always learning at the Global Walkability Correspondence Network. But one thing I think that will also be nice is to move into that local synergy potential. As the network grows, we sometimes have people joining in cities where we already have members, which opens up the opportunity for members to connect, create their own local Walkability Correspondence Network hub, have walks, do actions locally that help spotlight issues of walkability in their community. So I'm really excited to support that through network activity as well. If you are interested in partnering with us, talking about collaboration of some sort, we are very focused on educational opportunities and, of course, also advocacy and media. And also, if you're interested in joining the network, please feel free to email us at globalwalkabilitynetwork@gmail.com.